a compressor, top notch, the most, not the lesser. Money on the dresser, drive a compressor, top notch, the most, not the lesser.
I'ma put the pressure, how they can't measure. Cold press, got you crying in the presser. Time to put the pressure,
Yo,
they can't
welcome
measure.
to the return of the Spiel Sports Talk Show. This comeback has been 2 years in the making, so we're back for season 6. We're super excited to talk about football. I'm excited to just be back in the room with my favorite people here. Let's give a warm welcome to my guys. Let's get a bit of an introduction for those who don't know. I am Sal. It's a Muslim. I'm straight out of Pittsburgh. We're here in Pennsylvania. We got my buddy here, Scuba Steve, also coming from the great state of Pennsylvania. How you doing, Steve?
Good, brother. Great to be back. Great to be back. How we doing?
I'm doing well. I'm geeked. And over on the other side of the country in Arizona, we got Jock, Lotus Tal, Quay. What's good with you, man?
What's going on, everyone? It is good to be back. I hope everyone has been enjoying themselves over the past 2 years. Life has been good. Man, I'm so happy, ready to do this spiel, season 6, episode 1. We got lots to talk about, so I can't wait to just jump right in.
Yeah, and let's jump right into it. Let's talk about where we're all from. Great city of Pittsburgh. We had a thrilling season opener. Season opener that one would argue could be probably the most exciting season opener of our lifetime. And that was Aaron Rodgers' Steelers debut. The old man that they said was washed, said was crazy. And he came out and showed out with 4 touchdowns in his Steelers debut. It was a revenge game against the Jets. On the other side of the field, we had Justin Fields, who also was trying to prove himself, and he looked special too yesterday. And I think it all culminated with a Boz field goal. I think a career-long 60-yard field goal to end the game. I mean, that guy is super clutch too, arguably best kicker in the league. And the Steelers somehow got past the Jets with a win in week 1 with 34 points. I don't think anyone coming into the game would have thought that this would be the game that would be very high scoring. 2 offenses that hadn't proven themselves yet, but seemed to be very exciting teams to watch. Steve, what do you think about the game that the Steelers had this weekend?
Well, I just want to say, first off, I know, we already did the introductions, but I mean, there were those who said this day would never come, but what have they to say now? We're here. Season 6. Who would have thought? And who would have thought that the 41-year-old man straight out of the cabin in the woods, fresh off the ayahuasca, would come out and throw 4 tutties and no picks against the Jets, dice him up in his first game in a Steelers uniform on the road, leading a fourth quarter comeback with the help of, like you said, I'm gonna just, this is the reporter or editor in me, I'm gonna just cut out one word there. You said arguably. He's not arguably. He's the best kicker in the league. The Boz. He's one of the best of all time. He's now ranked 3rd in NFL history, by the way, in field goal percentage accuracy. Justin Tucker, number 1. Harrison Butker, number 2. 2 of the greatest ever. And he's right there with them. Going to go down, I think, as one of the best of all time. And there was no doubt about it. I think, Sal, I texted you in Kufel's, our group chat. I have obviously several group chats going at this time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a frantic fourth quarter. But I think I texted you and Kufel specifically, Sal, around the time we were at the 43-yard line, even on like second down, saying Boz 60-yarder incoming for the win, and that's sure enough exactly what happened. Not many teams, fan bases have that luxury of getting just inside the 45 on the road at the end of the fourth quarter and saying, all right, we're down 1 here, we're inside the 45, all right, just all right, this is good. We don't turn the ball over. and let him win it. And that's exactly what happened. He won the game for us like it was nothing. Would have been good from 65. What an incredible kick. What an incredible game. Like you said, Sal, the best opener I can remember in 30, almost 30 years of probably as a Steelers fan. Going back to the 90s, the best opener, other than, like Kufel said, to give him another shout out, when AB kicked the Browns punter in the face. That was the only other opener I think that could compare. So yeah, Quay, what did you think, my man?
Man, I thought the game was awesome. I was I was a little bit, and we'll jump into that a little bit, but I was kind of surprised we gave up 32 points to the Jets. But in terms, I wanted to see the offense. That was the one thing that I kept saying during the preseason. I need to see this offense. I want to see this offense and how it's going to move, how it's going to function. And outside of the offensive line needing to work out some kinks, I really, really like what I saw from Aaron. A Rod played amazingly. Looked like he turned the clock back at least a good 3-4 years. The way the ball was coming out of his hand was nice. Like me and Sal talked about it the other day. It's like he was jump fading at times, and it's just like the way it flicked out of his wrist was just so clean and on target, and still had some zip and velocity. Um, it's the best quarterback play. I hate to say it at times, but it's really the best quarterback play we've had since Ben. And it's crazy it has to come in, the package
Easily.
of a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers. But I think
You have
this.
to go back, not to cut you off, bro. You have to go back a few years into Ben's career to find the last time we had a QB this good. Like, the last few years of Ben was not even this good as a 41-year-old A-Rod. Like, he is looking like vintage A-Rod almost. It's one game, but in that, like you said, the throws he was making, the zip, I mean, he looks like the best QB we've had in like 10 years since Ben was basically in his prime, I think. I mean, what a
Yeah.
performance. And I've always said since the first time I watched him come in as a backup on, I think, Monday Night Football for Brett Favre and just slice up the Vikings or something, I'm like, this guy is going to be amazing. And then as a starter, yeah, after his first couple of years, I'm like, okay, this guy's probably going to be the future, like a Hall of Famer. And then when seeing what he did to us in the Super Bowl, like, yeah, this guy's the best quarterback I've ever seen. And I always maintain that. And I know Brady is everyone's GOAT, but even Brady just came out and said Aaron Rodgers is the best passer of the football that he's ever seen. And I mean, other than Dan Marino, I guess I'd probably agree.
Oh, definitely. And seeing how people kind of wrote off, him from last year, and even me, like I thought the dude was pretty much done, but we did see certain slivers last year, even though they lost games, where it's like, okay, maybe he does still have it, but the team around him isn't good, just as the Jets organization. But and we'll talk about, like I said, we'll talk about them a little bit more. But Steelers themselves, I like just Aaron Rodgers. I thought was the highlight. The way the offense functioned was a highlight as well. Surprised, I was really surprised about Kenneth Gainwell getting a lot of touches, pretty much being our RB1. Wondering what was kind of going on with that. But man, it was fun to see our offense actually do something, and our defense not being the reason we won. And I think as the season goes on, even though, like, it's 32 points to the Jets, even though Justin Fields looked good, Brees Hall was good, and maybe they have something there. 32 points given to the Jets with that defense that we have. We got some improvements we need to make, but I think defense will get better as the season goes on. Offensive line will get better as the season goes on, and we're gonna make some noise. I'm not gonna call it Super Bowl. I'm not a fan like that. I'm not a delusional fan like that. But if the pieces fully come together, and this is how the offense is going to look, and it's only gonna get stronger, it's gonna be a good season for the Steelers. I think we can finally get a playoff win.
Yeah, I like the energy that I saw from the newly acquired players. I mean, Aaron Rodgers just looked like he was happy to be there. I mean, I think when Jalen Ramsey got that hit at the end of the game, and he was just so hype. But speaking about that Jalen Ramsey hit, uh, I think it's time to watch the little hype video that we saw. It's been circulating social media, and it's Jalen Ramsey's debut as a Steeler here, and we'll talk about it in a bit.
Oh, y'all too little. Oh, y'all too little. Oh, y'all look too little.
And he's still talking, Ramsey. Yep. Still. See, that's all they're doing. Talking it out. You heard them talk about Jalen Ramsey and the way he practices, the intensity that he practices with. A lot of time coming off the clock, and Fields will just chuck it away. Catch and curl, but look at the Steelers. They get to the football in a hurry and bring down Wilson, led by Thornhill and Ramsey.
Amazing.
Downfield throw, incomplete. Jalen Ramsey makes the play against Josh Rosen. Fields delivers, catch made, and the ball is shot loose. Garrett Wilson could not secure it, and Jalen Ramsey has slammed the door shut.
I love how like after he makes the hit, he's like struggling to not take his helmet off, and he just
I
wants
know.
to just
Like
go.
he didn't want to get a penalty. I was like, is he going to launch it? What an amazing debut and moment for him, man. I love having this man on my football team, man. What an incredible player he's been since the moment he stepped in the league. He was the best corner in the league from his second year till he left Jacksonville, and then he was still all-pro, Pro Bowl ever corner ever since, even if he got surpassed by guys like Surtain. He's more versatile now. He can play the nickel, play safety, lays big hits, as you saw, to win the game. And the best part about him is that he's just a junkyard dog out there, and he just brings that energy, that fire that you need from your defense that we need. We needed a leader in that secondary to bring that like that. And man, he did that from the very beginning, talk at halftime, even after Garrett Wilson had his big first half and was, had stuff to say to him. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And so Ramsey made sure he was the one that was going to finish it. And so poetic to do it on Wilson with the big hit. Wilson, you're a great receiver, but you got to catch that pass with the game on the line, fourth down, no matter how hard you get hit. I don't care. I'm sorry. I mean, you gotta hang on to the ball. You're gonna get hit either way. You gotta catch the ball. So Ramsey luckily made the perfect hit and broke it up. And glad we have him on our team.
Yeah, that was the pickup during the off. Sorry, guys. That was the pickup during the off season where it kind of changed my feelings. I definitely became more optimistic for sure when we picked him up, just due to the fact where, like you said, Steve, number one corner for a long time. I even thought even when he got maybe usurped or considered not as good anymore, maybe just due to age or just other guys just kind of, having that time. I feel like cornerback is one of those positions where the hierarchy can change within 3 seasons type of thing. And he held it down for a while. And even now, I still think he makes an argument, even though the past 2 years haven't been flashy. And I think it's been mostly due to him being in Miami, and Miami not necessarily that good over the past 2 years. But he still has been playing like a top 5 corner. He's been very solid, like you said, super versatile still. You can put him at safety, you can put him at nickel, and it just changes the way you can operate in the back end and the secondary when he's out there. And I'm like, if that having him will really, really make a difference, even with JP Jr. growing up and getting better each season. I really like this, and it showed to me again that Omar Khan is really trying to win a Super Bowl, or at least put things in place to get closer to a Super Bowl. So, man, him making it, I'm not surprised. Jalen making the play to seal the game. Again, when our defense was struggling, he was probably one of the brighter spots throughout the day. I can't remember the exact stats that when Garrett Wilson was lined up on him, what he actually gave up. It wasn't a lot, even though Garrett had 7 catches and 95 yards. None of that really came on Jalen when he was lined up on him. So
Yeah, Burn Slay.
yeah. So again, not surprised. It really helps our defense, and we get better as, like I said, as the year goes on. I mean, the sky's the limit for our defense. It really is.
Yeah, here's
Yeah, sorry.
Here's a fact for you too on Jalen. Last year, first time he didn't make the Pro Bowl, like you said, when he was with Miami, not a great fit for him. First time he didn't make the Pro Bowl since his rookie year, 2016. He made 7 in a row from 2017 to 23. 3-time first team All Pro. So he's a guy who, with a couple more good years here with the Steelers and really, leaving an imprint on his legacy, he's got a Hall of Fame career too. Like, we have 3 future Hall of Famers potentially on this defense with TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Jalen Ramsey, not to mention a future first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback who's 41 but still slinging it. I mean, but they already said we have the most Pro Bowl selections. I know that was a fact they threw out during the game. We have 50 combined Pro Bowl selections, to whatever that means. But, that's something else. A lot of those guys might be a little older, but some of them are still really, really good. And yeah, having 4 future Hall of Famers in one locker room, that can mean a lot for a team, I think.
No, definitely. And all of those guys, I mean, sans maybe TJ and Cameron, I mean, don't necessarily have extensive playoff history outside of Cam. The furthest we got was back in 2016 AFC Championship with the Patriots. But with that pedigree and guys ready and wanting to win, Darius Slay, coming just fresh off a Super Bowl as well. The team is right with the veterans, the personnel. That I think, like I said, it's all there for us to win as long as we round out some things and see how the rest of the season goes. I'm still somewhat concerned about not having maybe a true wide receiver too, but Calvin Austin showed me something a little bit more. I loved him last season, and maybe he does take another step forward with Aaron Rodgers still slinging it. Maybe he can have a 1,000-yard season. Who knows? But but I love the tight end combinations that we have now with Jonnu and Pat Freiermuth. But Jonnu just adds, the dude pretty much scored on a jet sweep. So it's just how many tight ends are really scoring off a jet sweep? So just having, a guy like that, it really does make a lot of difference. It really does. And it looks like we finally got our man of the hour dropping in.
Surprise visitor. First time caller, long time listener.
What's going on? We got I Am Dreaded, Shaq himself.
Before we move off from the Steelers, too, we got to talk about this acquisition.
Hey, I'm in there.
Jabrils.
Yeah. What up, Shaq?
What up, though? How y'all doing?
We're good, man.
We enjoying life. We're doing good.
Welcome.
But
We're just finishing the first segment talking Steelers. What do you got?
Right.
What do you got to say about Week 1?
What I got to say about Week 1?
Yeah, you gotta say.
Funny. That's some solid text, but everything. It was a good game for real. But I guess it's just one game, honestly. So I can't really say too much. But the defense, I don't know if it's Justin Fields or our defense, honestly. Because Justin Fields, he was looking too nice for against us.
I think he just knew some things,
He did know some things. And then fakely, like I was telling Sal, I honestly don't think Justin Fields had a bad year for us last year, honestly.
No, we didn't give him a chance.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, we didn't give him a chance. Yeah, we babied him, and man. So, but how do I feel about Week 1? Week 1, like I said, it was a good game, man. Offense looked sharp, everything. First time we had a quarterback that threw for 4 touchdowns since Big Ben. That's crazy.
That's exactly. Actually talked about that. Yeah,
that's crazy. But yeah, but they're definitely optimistic though. And I see y'all talking about Jabril, everything. Jabril, that's my.
We haven't yet. That's our next topic. Sal's got to bring up the video. Sal, can you cue up the video of him calling the coin toss in overtime when he was with the Patriots? I think. Do you have that?
Let me pull that up.
We want that. We want that, Mo.
Right. Real dog.
He's another
What a
junkyard
dog.
dog. Another
He's been my
junkyard
voice
dog
since high
that at
school,
secondary,
man.
man. I love it.
Uh,
Omar Khan is really out here playing Madden, man. Someone gets hurt, let me pick up the next man up.
right.
Don't wait around.
The next, yeah, who has the next best overall out there? Free agency.
So
Pick
what did
him
they
up.
say about Deshaun Elliott? So is he missing time?
I don't
4
know.
6 weeks.
4
Okay.
to 6.
It's better than
MCL
a
sprain.
whole year, yeah. That'll be all right.
Is that ACL or MCL sprain?
MCL.
MCL. I don't even think you can sprain your ACL, can you? I feel like I've never heard. I don't know.
I've never seen people with ACL sprains. Literally, like,
I don't know.
yeah. I feel like it's always
Torn or
like,
not.
yeah.
I don't know.
That was my
I've heard, yeah,
favorite
PCL,
last year.
MCL. Yeah, that's why. Yeah, me and Sal were talking about that too. Before the show, I was saying Deshaun
Yeah.
definitely was like the Steeler I was looking at last year. Yo, he was everywhere. Like, it didn't
He's
matter.
someone that we can't win without, so I'm not super worried. I like him a lot though, but
Yeah.
he's not TJ Watt, you know.
Definitely not TJ Watt, but
How about not running a single play at TJ? You know, the run game. Here we go.
This is heads. Heads is the call. And it is heads. We want that ball.
Confident.
We won't do
Yep.
Hilarious.
Yep. Malcolm Jenkins was mad.
There was the one play I saw where he blew the dude up and like it popped up for like a tip drill. I forget which team.
Mhm. He blew up
right.
Jalen Hurts and he
That was
let
like
him know
last
about
year,
it.
right?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
didn't see that one.
And I also saw PFF, and we could take PFF stats with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But I think they was graded like number 4 out of all safeties
Last year.
Number 4.
Yeah, last year.
Nice.
Well, that means he's the worst safety in football. Then they need to stop using
Like
that
the
on
Sunday Night Football, like
They
the
need to
PFF
stop.
ranking.
Like I said, like these guys have families, their sons and daughters and wives are watching the game either at the stadium or at home. And then you got an all-pro linebacker like Matt Milano to transition us into our next segment, playing for the Bills, making his second-year return from like a torn ACL, and they got him ranked there as 73rd out of 84 linebackers. Like you're telling me Matt Milano is the 73rd best linebacker? There's 32 teams. Like there's not even 73 starting linebackers.
And that means he's literally worse than some of like the second second linebacker of a team, which is crazy. Which is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, but we should get into that though, because I feel like that was actually the game of the week. It felt like Steelers Jets was going to be a game of the week.
It might be the game of the year.
And we ended up seeing
one.
a classic, and it was like a stunning season opener. Derrick Henry's going off, Lamar's going off. It seems like, all right, well, this is their year. Like, it really felt like, oh man, this is their year. We're going to have to play them. Their defense, I felt like, was a bit shaky, but either way, the Bills ended up overcoming a 15-point deficit, and then they end up kind of riding Josh Allen being the hero again, getting them to come back, and just, I think he ended up with 394 passing yards by the end of the night. So, Shaq, what do you think about what the Bills did to the Ravens, stunning them on Sunday night?
Right. Well, first I want to say, are we politically correct on here?
Yes.
I mean, you don't want to get canceled, do you? So.
all right. So I just want to say the script is in. That's what I was saying last. I mean, that was my.
You can say that.
Because, I mean, I guess while the Ravens were winning and stuff, it looked good enough. I'm like, these Bills, like the Bills, they actually look trash to me for real. Like it's just only Josh Allen, honestly, and I really feel like the Ravens just let Josh Allen come back. They took their foot off the gas. That's what everybody was saying, but took their foot off the gas and just let Josh Allen do anything for real. Like no resistance. Like
I think
I
that
good. That was game of the year, honestly. I feel like our game was better than their game, honestly. But like I said, I feel like the script was in on that one, honestly. Like I didn't believe in that comeback. It was definitely nice to watch, definitely because I'm a Steelers fan, but
Henry fumbled on purpose?
Nah,
See, I was gonna say Henry
I won't say that. I won't say that. No, hey, I'll definitely get a defense
That's what it all came down
yeah.
to, man. That was the play that swung it all.
I was gonna say that was the play that changed. I was gonna
That's
say
the
that was the
king,
play that
but
changed
you
everything.
gotta
It
have
did.
2 hands on that thing. That's crazy. The biggest, strongest back in the league, and he coughs that up when it really matters. That's
Right.
crazy.
With one arm too. One dude got his one hand in there and just
Who made that point? Was
Strong.
it
I mean,
Eastwood? Who
it's a
made the
strong
point
man.
that that's all? Someone made a point that that's all you can really do as a defender now. You can't hit people. I think it was my buddy Dan from Flag. Like, you can't hit stick people, right? You can't intimidate them with coming over the middle. All you can really do is try to strip that ball out. And then there was a lot of fumbles in that first week one.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I actually heard TJ Watt say that for real. I think it was TJ that said that. I watch a lot of podcasts. And I want to say it was TJ Watt, but he said something about like how how this the game is just aiding that the offense or whatever that they can't tackle high, they can't tackle low, they can't hit stick, they can't hit the quarterback. So the only thing we can do is just punch out the ball.
Yeah, so they punch it,
Mhm.
literally.
Like, so
Literally, everyone
attack the
peanut
ball.
punches now.
So like, damn, true. But yeah,
Well, yeah. So to your point, it's why. To your point, it's why even though the stats would say Lamar should have been MVP last year, it's actually why I said Josh it should have won due to exactly what you said.
Wait, Sal, did we get the
I don't.
highlights?
I don't think
Yeah.
anyone. I think when you look at the Bills, there isn't someone that your casual fan is going to say like, "Oh, this person also helps take the team over the top." I think when you look at the Bills, outside of maybe James Cook, and even then, it's truly Josh Allen that is he is the cog that runs that system. Where I'm not saying Lamar isn't as important, but there's definitely way more pieces surrounding Lamar to the point where, yeah, I expected them to win that game. I didn't expect that game to be close. I thought when the Ravens were definitely, taking the lead and like distancing themselves, I thought, yeah, it was like, okay, yeah, this is just the Ravens that we were supposed to see this year. Like, their defense is strong, even though they gave up points, which I also think they'll get better as the season goes on, and that will be the Steelers' true test as well. But I think, to Shaq's point, there was a bit of a let go of the gas, and I think that's a hardball issue. And I do think there is something a little bit, you could say, cursed with the Ravens, where there's something always fluky, even when you say maybe Harbaugh should have made a different call or whatever. There's still just weird fluky things that get in their way that turn the tide, like things you're not expecting. I mean, how many times has Mark Andrews, even though people could say, oh, maybe Lamar could have thrown the ball better, but how many times truly is Mark Andrews going to drop a pass like that, in the playoffs? Or the 2 years prior, it's these like little things where Zay Flowers is getting ready to score a touchdown. It's just like the perfect peanut punch as he's diving, and he doesn't get. It's these simple little things that aren't their fault. Week 1 last year against the Chiefs, losing because Isaiah Likely's foot is too big. Like, it's just.
well,
That's
I
a
don't
great
know.
callback,
Yeah.
Clay. Like, you bring back memories that even I have forgotten. What a great opener that was, and that crazy ending. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's these weird things where like the Ravens, they are their own worst enemy. And as a Steeler fan, it was nice to see them lose and know like, okay, yeah, we're up. And even the Bengals probably should have lost, but it is what it is.
One of them
it's-
had to win,
right.
but it didn't look good.
yeah. So, but it's not. It was nice to see as a Steeler fan, but I just think Harbaugh is going to have to understand and know that you can't give the ball back to a top 3 quarterback. The cream of the crop quarterbacks are Patrick Mahomes,
Yeah.
Josh Allen, and your own quarterback. You're not supposed to give them the ball back in crunch time to score. you let your offense win the game.
He was cramping. Lamar was cramping on that 4th and 3. He had just got hit super hard by Ed Oliver on the previous play. I don't know if that had to do with it. Ed Oliver, by the way, if there's one guy other than Josh,
he was the MVP.
He was their MVP other than Josh. He's their best player on the defense by far. What a monster. He's like a Cam Hayward type, like underrated inside, just monster. Well, Cam gets that recognition now that he's got a few All-Pros the last few years. Finally, like he's 35 and he's got the recognition. Ed Oliver deserves that recognition too. He was everywhere, just crushing guys that game. But yeah, I don't know if he would have went for it if Lamar wasn't hurting or cramping. I definitely think he should have gone for that 4th and 3. But you see what happens when you punt it away.
Right.
Yeah, and shout out to Matt Prater. I don't know if he passed Aaron Rodgers once he got signed during the week as the oldest guy in the league or not. I know he's also 41, I think. I don't know which one's older. He's what?
He's 41, but yeah, I don't know which one's older.
Yeah, I don't know they're both 41.
Yeah.
So Aaron was the oldest guy in the league. So either way, I don't know who's older. Great story for him. He had to feel great. He said he showed up and just Josh Allen said he told him he was going to give him everything he's got, and he did. Good for him. Go Bills for that night. Yeah, I was definitely a Bills fan on that night. Sorry to the flock, Guru. No one's here to speak on behalf of the flock, but I know Guru. He'll be here at some point with his thoughts this year. Can't be happy after that start though. But the Ravens look like a better team than me. They look terrifying.
Yeah, like Shaq said. They're definitely a better team. Yeah, that's what I said. Like they should have won that game. Like when they literally just distancing themselves, I'm like, yeah, this is the Ravens. Like this was the team that I'm like, yeah, they should win the Super Bowl this year. Just based off of the way their defense is set up, then that offense is set. Yeah, but yeah, I think this was just more of a fluke, and them letting, like Shaq said, letting their foot off the gas, and we'll see. I think it. Maybe I exaggerate a little bit by saying the game of the year is definitely the most. Right now is probably the game of the year, even though I do think our game was really fun. But if that's week 1, just was a very, very fun and exciting start just to the NFL season in general. Lots of fun games, great games.
Yeah, week 2 tomorrow. I'm ready for it. Let's go.
Oh, we got Jaden.
Week 2. Yeah, it's going to perfectly push us to the next segment.
Got some good matchups already. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow night, on Thursday Night Football, we have the Packers hosting the Commanders, who have kind of grown to be my second team. I was just saying the other day to the boys that I was at the Maryland bookstore near campus back at my alma mater, and they had the Jaden Daniels players shirt. It was very enticing. Who knows? Maybe next time I go to DMV, I might end up copying it. But
get you.
Yeah, might have to. I mean, these Commanders that they went above and beyond expectations last year, right? Getting to the championship game. And then we see this Packers team, which seems like one of the stronger teams in the league, just come off a big dub against their division rivals, against a team that some folks are picking to win the Super Bowl this year. Quay, what do you think about this matchup tomorrow?
Yeah, I think this matchup tomorrow pretty much is going to it's going to indicate a couple of things. I think it's going to indicate which team here has the better quarterback. I think just off of year 2 and just week 1, I don't think we're going to see a sophomore slump from Jaden. I don't see that happening. Just from what I saw from him in week 1, you've seen certain improvement, like quicker, way more decisive. The way he was utilizing Debo was as if Debo played on the team last year. It was great. He had more chemistry with Debo than he did with Terry, and maybe that does have something to do with Terry not being at camp, but he played with Terry all last year, so it's kind of crazy that he looked much better with Debo in week 1, which great addition. If he can stay healthy, I mean, we all know what Debo Samuels is as a player. If he stays healthy, this really changes and evolves their offense. And I think this also goes to show too. Sometimes there's people who are better as coordinators, and there's people who are better as head coaches. Kingsbury me being Arizona, people hate him. I mean, they talk about it all the time, like how bad he sucked, and then immediately as an OC, this dude is really really good. And I think he's the reason why we have Jaden Daniels being the quarterback that we see him being. They made sure they surrounded him with pieces to help his growth. I don't think we're gonna, like I said, that sophomore slump won't exist because they gave him an offensive line. Where we see with CJ, he had a slump because no offensive line, also injuries to his offense. So I think as long as none of those things happen to Jaden, it's going to be fine. But yeah, we'll kind of see what Jordan Love can do. The past couple of years, we've seen the flashes. He's been pretty good. Sometimes nicked up and hurt, banged up, but um, while he makes really, really good plays, sometimes he'll make that play where you question him. But I like what I saw from out of week one, and it looks like he has more command of that offense. The offense ran really, really good against that Lions defense that was fully healthy. But I think this is going to be exciting. The quarterbacks are going to be ones to look at and to see how that pass rush, if they can really get to Daniels. And I think if they aren't making an impact, if Micah can't really make an impact, we're going to see the Commanders win this game. I have them winning the game 27-23 in a really close one. But I'm excited to just see those two quarterbacks battle it out and see how they handle Micah, which he had a great debut, one sack, made some impact plays on defense, just having pressures and everything. So it's gonna be an exciting Thursday night game, which hoping to get more of those this season because last year we did not have some fun Thursday night games. So this should be a good one.
Yeah, what a matchup. I mean, two great quarterbacks, like you said, evenly matched playoff caliber teams with championship hopes, and nothing better than a primetime game at Lambeau this early in the season to start off the year. We're getting treated to some great matchups, I think. And no one impressed me more in terms of as a unit than that Packers defense in that first week. The way they controlled and shut down the Lions. I know the Lions are missing their coordinators, Ben Johnson, but the Packers with Micah. I mean, he had an amazing game, like you said, the one sack, but he was beating Penne. If you'll see on these highlights, like a drum, beating him inside, outside. Penne, the best right tackle in football, and Micah clearly just dominated that matchup.
Just impacting the entire game.
But man, they have other guys all over the field that were just balling, and to shut down the Lions, basically to 6 points. I think they scored in like the last minute, a meaningless touchdown, but really dominated from start to finish. So the Packers, I think, are for real this year, and we're going to learn a lot about both teams. I can't wait for it either. Sorry, Charlie's barking, but hey, I'll get a prediction in for this one real quick. I'm going to say 24-21 Packers.
Nice.
What
you got, Shaq?
Right.
You got 2017.
I was at work during those games. So I actually missed those games. Like I seen highlights of that Packers game, and I did see how that Packers defense was swarming. They but everything like Gibbs and Montgomery didn't even go over 100 yards, like total scrimmage yards. Like that was
total,
crazy.
yeah.
Like how they really shut them down for real. But like I said, I really didn't watch. I really don't know what to say, or I'm not trying to speak on something I don't know. But I do think the Packers will win. And if I was to give a prediction, I probably would say like 24 to like 13, 14 for real. I don't even think like they'll cover that spread, honestly.
Honestly. I think it's going to be a and it's not far either.
Mm-hmm.
right, so we got 3 Commanders, 1 Pack. All right.
Tap.
Wait, I was the only one who took the pack. Shaq took the commies too.
No, Shaq took the Pack.
Yep.
I
Oh,
took
yeah,
that. Yeah,
you
we're
chose the
split.
Pack. Yeah, you chose the Pack. My bad. Yeah,
Yeah, we're right down the middle as you would expect.
we like
Great
that.
matchup.
Yeah.
Great matchup. We'll see. Yeah, we can predict the Thursday night matchup all year and keep track. Yeah.
I like that. Okay. 2-2. It's gonna be a great game. It's definitely gonna be a great game. I'll be home in time for that. Actually, nah, I'll be home by the second half, so I'll catch the second half.
Let's see. Let's move on to breakouts. Any players out there? Any Ians want to
Hold up,
shout
Steelers
out?
Hawks.
Oh,
Oh
I
yeah,
wrote a
we gotta
whole
talk
list.
Steelers Hawks first. Yeah. Let's talk Steelers Hawks
Oh
first.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Steelers Hawks. Let's do the preview Steelers Hawks.
Steelers,
Yeah,
Seahawks.
Steelers Hawks. What you got, Shaq?
Oh, what? Are you guys saying predictions for Steelers Seahawks?
Yeah,
Preview. Preview.
yeah. The preview. Yeah, what you like, what you don't like, what you
Oh,
think.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, shoot. All right. Our home opener. Well, first, I think we will win. I mean, yeah, I think we got us winning. I'll probably say like 24 to like 10. That would be my prediction. And once again, like hey, I didn't get to see the Seahawks play last week, but I did see that Kenneth Walker got outgained by Charbonnet. Well, I see that Charbonnet outsnapped Kenneth Walker for real.
I'll snap them. Yeah.
I don't even, but yeah, it's like I said. I mean, I really didn't see them play, so I don't know too much about them. But yeah, I definitely got us winning by more than one score. I don't know if it's gonna be a touchdown, a field goal, or 2 touchdowns, but I definitely got us having a nice, comfortable win over them and Sam Darnold.
Okay. The Darnold.
Ooh, JSN though. Yeah,
Yep, Jackson Smith.
yeah, he was
The
balling.
Njigba.
Yup. And then they put Cooper in the slide. They got JSN on the outside. That did look tough. But yeah, I still got the Steelers, man.
I mean, what do we think
Okay.
about Sam Darnold in his first game out with the 12th man? I mean, it seemed like it was pretty uneventful, and then at the end, he was within striking distance to make the game.
Had a crazy, just weird fumble. Just a weird fumble. Like it's not something you would ever see really happen. Like I feel like you can make 500 offensive snaps and that play win happens still, but it's just one of those things. Kind of like the butt fumble. We haven't seen a butt fumble since Mark Sanchez, and how many NFL plays have happened since Mark Sanchez did the butt fumble? So it's the same thing. It's like one of those like how many times is a quarterback going to wind up and weirdly his offensive lineman is like right there and just hits the ball as he's But I think just week one jitters. I mean, a lot of teams. There were a lot of teams week one where you were expecting them to do a little better. I mean, I think one of the prime examples was how much the Broncos struggled against the Titans. Not saying the Titans aren't a competitive team per se, but year 2, Bo Nix, the offense, the pieces that they added, you weren't expecting something like that. So. I just think that was the same thing with the Seahawks. Just one of those things where you got a new quarterback. It's week 1. It's a divisional game as well. Those games are always weird and challenging. I mean, look at Bengals Browns. I mean, that game shouldn't have been that close. Browns almost won. So it's just one of those things where I think it's more of a week 1 fluke than the reality of who they'll be. I don't think they'll be a true playoff contender. I think there will be a lot of teams in the NFC that'll usurp them. I mean, there's the NFC North in itself. You can argue all 4 of those teams have potential. Even the Bears have a potential to make a wild card spot just as much as the Seahawks do. The NFC South, I mean, you have clearly the Buccaneers are going to be that team, but the Falcons could easily be better than the Seahawks. It's just one of those things. It's just going to be tougher. So I don't know if they're going to be a wild card team, but they'll be better than they were week one, which is why I don't have them. Originally, I said that the Steelers were going to win 24-13, but then I thought about it and I pretty much gave it a closer game. It would be something like 24-20. I think our defense will still try to figure things out. I think the Deshaun Elliott loss will be felt a little bit, even though Chuck Clark kind of came in and made some good tackles. But yeah, I just think the game will be a little bit closer as we try to round things out. And I think the Seahawks play a little bit tougher as well. So, but I think we still get the win, like I said, 24-20.
Yeah, I mean, Deshaun
Yeah,
Elliott's presence definitely going to be missed. I mean, he had 6 tackles, and he only played, what, like 60% of that first half. So that's a lot of production that can't be made up. What were you going to say, Steve?
Yeah, that Seattle. I didn't get to watch the Seattle San Fran game either. Really, I just saw how it ended, and it seemed like Seattle was in the lead till the very end when Tariq Woolen should have had the game-winning pick in the end zone, and somehow let like a third-string
Tight
tight end come out of nowhere and moss him because he's just sitting back there waiting for the ball to come to him instead of going and getting it. And apparently, I saw a video about it. He did this the whole game. He had a chance for 2 picks on that ending drive, and it happened twice. But the whole game, he was basically playing like very passively like that. And he's a guy who came on the scene as a rookie and was one of the best corners in the league. 6'4", 210, 6 picks as a rookie, and was like being talked about as like better than Sauce Gardner and stuff. 4.2640, like the third fastest 40 in the history of the combine, like all this crazy, measurables, and a great season, rookie season to back it up. And all of a sudden now he's like the reason they lost. So it's like, okay, let's see if DK can take advantage of that. They probably know each other well. But yeah, just to be brief on this, yeah, I don't, like you said, quite. I mean, Seahawks borderline playoff team. I don't see them getting in this year though in the NFC. Just too many good teams, I think, over there. And the Steelers home opener, I think it's going to be a great atmosphere after that game. Aaron Rodgers' debut there, chance to tie Brett Favre for 4th all time with his first touchdown pass at the AC. Pass him up with 2. I think Steelers win this one, 30-17.
30-17.
I like that. I like that score too. I like that score too.
We'll see. I mean, if the Steelers can replicate the red zone success from last week, this team's gonna be super dangerous. But I don't want to get high off week one. I feel like week one had some strong stuff in there, and I don't want to get too carried away. We'll see. We'll see. I'm also just worried. Aaron Rodgers might not survive the season. I mean, the way that he was getting hit against a really good Jets defensive line, but still, I mean, how many hits can he take like that?
Broderick Jones is a big problem. We might have to just bench him for anyone. Pull someone off the street. Seriously.
I'll do it.
What's your prediction, Sal? Did you already say it?
I did not. Yeah, I mean, I really think the Steelers are going to win this week. This should be the easier part of the schedule for them. I don't know if the game is going to be as high scoring as last week. I think that these teams are going to clean it up a bit. And I think we're seeing, to me, we'll get enough offense done. I think we'll get in the 20s. So I'm going to say 27 to 21.
That's almost what Clay said, isn't it? Didn't Clay say 27-20?
24-20.
Okay.
So, yeah, so that'll be an exciting one. So let's go ahead and move on to our biggest week one breakouts. Steve, you want to take it away? Who did you
we got the camera on me already. I just noticed we got my boy Charles Woodson in the background looking good with the act. Shout out to Hines. The ketchup bottle. Charles Woodson, by the way, the greatest defensive back who ever lived, for my money. There's a lot of great ones. Anyway, biggest breakouts. I mean, it's tough to not go with rookies here for week one, guys we had never seen in the NFL before. especially rookies that you started on your fantasy teams when you really needed them to come through, and they come through. And especially when they're listed as RB4 on the depth chart, and you start them anyway, and they still come through for you with 82 yards and a touchdown on just 10 carries. Lil Bill, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt for the Commies out in the DMV. I mean, he was the biggest hyped up, buzzed prospect of the training camp preseason as a 7th-round pick, 243rd overall, I believe, like 9 picks away from Mr. Irrelevant. And there's always that one name that you hear working their way up the depth chart out of nowhere as either an undrafted free agent, like a Jalen Warren type, or a 7th-round pick, a late-round pick. And he was it this year. And so I got one share of him in my 3 leagues, decided to give him a start, didn't have much choice, and definitely paid off. I don't think I won that league because I gave it 160 in both leagues. I was a high-scoring loser in both leagues. I lost, but we won't get into that here. But he definitely was everything I was hoping for and more. And, yeah, definitely looking like a solid breakout pick, and I think he's going to have a real big year for the Commanders. And just to give one more as well, hopefully I don't steal another one of your guys, but Tyler Warren, not to give love to a Penn State guy, which I hate to do, but he did step up for me also when I needed him big time. And in Premier League, where I think Brock Bowers, I think is that where. No, it's a different league where I have him in Premier. I started him in Premier and beat Sal. Yep. So yeah, he had a big first debut, 7 catches, 73 yards, I think, with the Colts. Rookie tight ends don't usually do too much, but he's obviously one of those hybrid freak type players that they want to get the ball all the time, get him involved early and often. I think the first drive he had like 3 catches for 43 yards. So they've used him as a fullback too already, like near the goal line. He's gonna be a lot of those packages. He's like a Brock Bowers type player. Even though I don't like Penn State guys, and everyone knows it, he was an amazing player there. And there's a reason. I can't believe he wasn't the first tight end pick, but he went like 16th, and the first one went 14th, I think. But I think that's even going to make him better. Just a little extra added motivation to be like, hey, like you were by far the best tight end in this class, like, and you weren't picked first. Like that's got to make him even more motivated. So it looks like it right off the bat. He's going to be a monster.
I was drafted. I don't know.
Say it again?
And
I said, who was the first off the board?
I honestly couldn't even tell you his name. Yeah, that's the thing. It's crazy to me. I forget. So I might have to look that up. We're looking on knowledgeable.
Yeah.
No. Go ahead.
I had Ja'Cory and Ty. I pretty much wrote down like a quick little like run off of people I was going to talk about. Ja'Cory, University of Arizona guy. I mean, even one of my clients brought him up, which was really cool. It was like, oh yeah, did you see that? I was like, yeah, UA kid. So seeing him, I kind of saw the writing on the wall to a degree, where someone had to step up when Brian got traded, which I was very shocked by. I was like,
well, that's why they traded him.
That's why they
because
traded
of this.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, if they traded
they
Brian.
Listed him as RB4. That was just a complete, gamesmanship thing that they obviously can't do that again, or else they'll be facing some scrutiny from the league.
Yeah, because Austin Eckler. Yeah, because Austin Eckler, you think at this stage of his career is going to be the starter? Like, definitely not. Then you look at Rodriguez, he was cool, and the Nichols, they're cool, but they're not like these RB1s. So it was very interesting to kind of see, like you said, RB4, and yeah, he actually got the start, and I'm like, okay, yeah, he should have been the one that got the start. So seeing him pop off like he did, and I mean, say what you want about the Giants front four is really, really good. They really can blitz and bring pressure with 4, and those 4 can also stop the run as well. So to see him week 1 go off and have a really, really good game, and like you said, pretty much 9 picks away from being Mr. Relevant. It's really good to see. Really nice to see. Ty Warren, like you said, tight end, Penn State tight end. Don't necessarily want to give them credit for it, but
Colston Loveland from Michigan went to
Loveland to the Bears. Yeah, to the Bears. Yep.
Loveland was the first one.
Yep.
Yeah, Loveland was first. Yep. I kind of forgot about that. Yep, Loveland was first. But yeah, Ty Warren had a great game. Like you said, 7 catches, 73 yards. I really, really liked. And I mean, I think people expected this, but I think Emeka was essentially the one
of
that
course.
obviously everyone was looking at and delivered two touchdowns. Had a great
Game
game.
winner. He apparently,
Game
did you see
winner.
the quote? Mike Evans said it, that he called game in the huddle. Basically, he told Baker, "Hey, I'm about to game one. I want a post. Give me a post." And he cooked him on the post for the game winning touchdown. So Evans is
I didn't see that. That's crazy.
Dude. Yep.
Okay. Yep. So yeah, dude was amazing. I think, like I said, everyone was kind of expecting him to have a great show week one, just have an overall really good season. He might, quarterbacks usually win rookie of the year, or offensive player of the year, or rookie offensive player, rookie of the year. So it'll be interesting to see. He'll probably fall number 2. But we'll see what happens there. But yeah, JJ, I liked what he did once the fourth quarter came around. I was worried about him, and just looking at it like, this team is, I don't know, it's going to be rough. You give away Sam Darnold. Was Sam Darnold supposed to be your guy? But I liked what I saw from JJ and how he took command and how that team just never seemed to have doubt in him. Kevin O'Connell at the end of the game. I love the locker room speech that he had for JJ. Yeah, great coach. And I think we're going to see JJ get better as the year goes on. And then as we talked about that Sunday night game, Keon Coleman. I mean, I thought it was very disappointing to kind of see what he did last year. You're like, man, you got all this potential, but we'll see what year 2 brings around. And he had a great game. And there's another person I will talk about, but we'll talk about him during our waiver wonders. But then I'm just going to talk about some guys who've been in the league real fast, just to, reminders of showing who they are. Last year had an off season, injuries. Just the team itself was not that great because of injuries as a whole. But Deebo Samuel reminded you who he was. Had a nice week 1. Travis Etienne also.
Ace was right. I used to love Deebo, but no, he's still got it.
He still got it. Travis Etienne didn't have a great season last year. Tank Bigsby almost looked like he was going to take his job. And, he's with the Eagles now because Travis solidified things. So really good to see him being utilized again and having a good season. Javonte Williams, not really a good season with the Broncos last year. And, you really thought like maybe that ACL took its toll on him and he really was just kind of washed. But with a revamped offensive line and the Cowboys looking better than what we thought they were going to be, he had a good season, a good week 1 opener. So we'll see how the rest of the season turns out. Hollywood Brown popped up as well after injuries to, Xavier. 10 catches, 99 yards. Hollywood Brown has been somewhat irrelevant the past 2, arguably 3 seasons, and kind of made a reminder here. So we'll see if he can kind of string that along while Rasheed's out, while Xavier Worthy's kind of day to day, maybe week to week with that shoulder injury. But yeah, like I said, I'll mention this last person once we get to the waiver wonders, but those are kind of guys who've been in the league that kind of also had a good first week breakout.
Great shows.
True. So me next?
Yeah.
You
Want to talk about who had a great week 1?
See, I don't know if it's a breakout or not because it's not a rookie or a young guy, but I want to get back on.
It doesn't have to be
everything. I was about to get back on. For real. Like,
yeah, that's totally good.
What we saw on Sunday, I believe that he's that kind of player. For real. I think he could manage the game pretty well if we need him. I mean, if y'all need him to, and everything. And then his feet, like everything, his scrambling ability, like that.
That's a great.
I was totally impressed for real, and everything. I think that they might have a good season with that. Honestly, yeah. It's funny. I was going to speak on JJ McCarthy too, and everything.
That's another one. Yeah,
like,
he looked
the last. Yeah, like that JJ McCarthy.
Until that fourth quarter, I was not sold. But what a comeback!
Right. Yeah, exactly. And how Kevin O'Connell did not give up on it. Well, I ain't gonna say didn't give up, but yeah, how he just kept putting the ball in his hands to to make the play. Like,
he's such a great coach for like a young quarterback. Like he's like. Yeah,
he's amazing. He's amazing coach. Like literally hearing that speech in the locker room, I was like, "Yo, give me some pad out I'll play for this dude. Like I'll play for him. Like it's
Dude,
crazy.
him waving Ty Chandler out of the end zone on the kick return to basically win the game instead of taking a touchback. That's such great coaching and great.
Yep.
You can tell he's a great coach because his player, as soon as he caught it, looked to the sideline.
Looked at him. Literally looked at him.
That camera angle was so cool to see that. Yeah.
Damn, I missed
They
that.
should have kicked it out of bounds, like Manning was saying on the Manning cast. If your kicker, unless your kicker knows he can guaranteed kick it out of the end zone, out the back, kick it out of bounds. Do not let them take time off the clock and take the 2-minute warning because they could have had the ball back. Otherwise, they got it with 9 seconds left. They could have had it with like 49. So
Yeah, because they essentially would have had two.
by the
You
Bears
essentially
to not
lost a
kick it out of
timeout.
bounds. Ben Johnson.
Yeah, because you
got
essentially
outcoached
lose the
by,
timeout.
O'Connell. Yep.
Yeah, because I said the same thing. Like you essentially lose a timeout because you only had one, and you essentially lose a timeout with a 2-minute warning that you could have had to utilize to stop the time and preserve the potential for another drive. So yeah, it was awesome to see that from Kevin O'Connell. Just there's great coach, amazing coach.
Is he better
Got any
than Conway?
breakouts that we didn't? Yeah, I don't know. You got any breakouts?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, you got anyone, Sal, you like?
Yeah, I was gonna say Mecca. I mean, just I had Baker Mayfield on my fantasy team, so I was invested in these new weapons, especially with some of the injuries that they have. The other one I was thinking about, and they kind of had a decent end to I think last season, but Ricky Pearsall from the Niners.
Yeah.
He broke out after getting shot. Wow.
Yeah, what a great story. He had over 100 yards. So we'll see what he gets into this season, but
he had to get mentioned. Great shout out.
But yeah,
that was a good one.
Any flops we want to talk about? Anyone have any week one
know
flops?
who
I mean,
I
I
have
know
to
a lot of
mention.
folks in fantasy were really upset. Some of their very high draft picks did not pay dividends this weekend, but any flops in particular anyone wants to call
I'm
out?
not talking fantasy here. I'm just gonna say the biggest flop and absolute disappointment, and Bears fans have to be just completely down in the dumps. Caleb Williams. He's just not him. I mean, anyone who thought Ben Johnson was going to come in and fix him, I thought maybe there was a chance, but I wasn't very high on it, and that just completely confirmed it. He looked decent on the first drive or two. After that, no, he misses way too many layups, can't complete easy throws. He'll make a crazy improvisational play like scrambling around or two, maybe drop a dime or two in the bucket, but he just misses way too many throws and too many gimmies, and he's too much of a whiner and not a leader. Just me first. He changed. If you saw the article, came out before the season. Well, yeah, and he came in and he had the whole organization, redo so many changes, including the snap count. Like all other teams use a color and a number for the snap count, and he had them actually change it to ready, set, go. And like the veterans on the team couldn't believe this. Like it really gives the other defense just a chance to tee off when a snap's coming. Unbelievable that they actually let that happen. I don't know what they're doing this year. If Ben Johnson fixed that, I think he still has a chance to make him better. Ben Johnson, like he'll be better this year, maybe, but he's still not the guy. He'll never be like the superstar, number one overall, Patrick Mahomes 2.0 that people hyped him up to be. And I thought he looked really good at times in college, but he just clearly is not that guy. So Caleb Williams, by far the biggest flop, and then Tua as well. Don't know what's really happened, but he's fallen off a cliff. Maybe it's the concussions. But Mike McDaniel's offense as a whole, and Tua specifically, seems to have really fallen off there. So Miami is definitely trending downward big time. They might be looking to trade Tyreek, and Caleb for sure is my biggest flop.
Yeah.
So I pretty much will segue more into that Dolphins point there too, because that's what I had. Like I didn't choose any specific players. Like I felt as though we could have, like I could say Bo Nix week 1, but again, those are obviously like week 1 flukes. I don't think that'll be like a competitive thing. We'll see. and they won the game. But there's other, like I said, there's players we could have chosen. Like I could just specifically say Tua, but I don't think it's just a Tua thing. I do think it's just a Miami Dolphins thing as a whole, which is why I wanted to focus more on that.
Yeah.
And then also, I think the Texans. I don't really think it's a CJ problem. Again, I think it's a O-line problem, and he's dealing with the fact that he also has a lot of injuries and people out on the offense. You got two rookies that you're trying to work in. Your second receiver that is a veteran and pretty good, and Christian Kirk, he was out week 1, and then so all you have is Nico, and yeah. So I won't. I'm not saying it's CJ at all. I do think he's not as good as year 1 because year 2 kind of changed certain things for him. You can kind of see he's slightly more indecisive. He's not as quick as he was year 1 with throwing the ball, making decisions. But again, I feel like that's more of a blame to the lack of things around him than his true talent. So I don't know what D'Amico has to do to help out that offense and help CJ out, but I'm concerned because this is pretty much a carryover from last season, and you're thinking they're supposed to be the clear best team in the AFC South. Titans have a rookie quarterback. You have the Danny Dimes with the Colts, and I mean, you're thinking this is Danny Dimes from New York, not Danny Dimes now cosplaying as Peyton Manning, I guess. But but yeah, you're looking at things like that, and then yeah, like I said, Texans just look like the clear team and the clear favorite team, should be the clear favorite best team in AFC South. So I don't know what's going on there. They got to figure it out. But yeah, back to the Dolphins. I think McDaniels is on like a hot seat. I think Tua, I've never been that impressed with him. Even when he had his breakout year, Tyreek had that great year. I just never looked at him and thought like, yeah, this guy is going to be like one of the top 5 quarterbacks, like maybe arguably top 10. But then you could say there's other quarterbacks that you could put in front of him. Like when people wanted to put him top 10 and were still refusing to put Baker in top 10, even when Baker had like that really good first year with the Buccaneers. I'm like, Baker actually shown us more intangibles and physical ability. We just kind of wrote him off because the Browns wrote him off after injury-riddled season where he put his body on the line for that organization. So, yeah, I think the Dolphins this is just pretty much what they're going to be. Tyreek is probably going to be traded real soon, like you said, Steve. And I don't really see much out from them. So Dolphins and Texans were my biggest standouts this past week for flops.
Well, I guess I'll be the third person to say the Dolphins. Thing that I was going to say and wasn't going to say, but like, man, like I was highly disappointed. And it's I ain't gonna say it's personal, but it's kind of because what was that Daniel Jones stat line? Like they said he scored a touchdown every drive, or was it
every drive? No, scoring. They scored points on every single drive.
Every single drive, right? Right.
And who did they trade for? Who did the Dolphins trade for? Who did they give up Jalen Ramsey for? Oh yeah,
right.
I loved Minka. Anyone who thought that was a bad trade for the Steelers, and I've already had some discussions with my old middle school friend Tyrell Morgan, who had a lot to say about it being a horrible deal, and he was a big Minka supporter at the time. Minka fell off, man. He got slower and he lost some step, and he wasn't in a good fit anymore. He was great a few years ago, but clearly not the same. And he had 9 tackles, but how much was he getting beaten coverage? I wonder. I didn't watch the game, but yeah. Sorry, Shaq. I'll let you finish.
You good, man. You good. But right, one thing I was going to say that Minka thing, I was kind of upset about that Minka trade also. But like I think it's just we love Minka for in this city. I mean, that's what it was. It was just hard to say goodbye. But
yeah, but it was time.
Toodles. It was time. Definitely.
It was definitely time.
But look though, so like everything, so like I have a brother who's on the practice squad for them guys, right? And like he was telling me that the reason why he was practice squad is because they want to go with experience and all of that. So I'm like, I'm thinking like, how can you get experience if everybody keeps saying they want an experienced player? But anyways, though, so Sunday happens, it comes and goes, and yeah, like Daniel Jones scores every single time on that damn experienced defense. Like, I don't know, I just felt some kind of way for and slighted. Yeah, it's a good person, but yeah, so I mean, yeah, watching that. Left a foul taste in my mouth. Everything. Seeing Tyreek flip out like that, like it was like, yeah, I'm ready to go to already.
Are you a Dolphins fan?
Not at all.
No, so his brother is John Saunders from Ole Miss.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, he's like he's just a fan because the fan on the team.
They practice squad.
Got you.
For them bums.
No, yeah, Shaq. Next time I cut you off, you just got to yell, "It's my turn!" No, it's my turn.
It's my turn. You told me it was my turn.
Yes. Now, for real, like I said, when I was watching Tyreek trip on the sideline, I'm like, yeah, I feel like trade me too. Like, yeah, like send us.
Yeah, it's time to go.
I think he might go home to KC, man. If I'm the Chiefs, I'm all in on trading back for that, man.
Yeah.
That's what they should do.
Right, yeah, right now.
And that would make them a Super Bowl contender, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Easily. And then in 5 more weeks or 6, 5 more weeks, you get your boy back. You get Rashee Rice. So yeah, you have Rashee just killing it over like the middle, underneath. Tyreek taking the top off. And Hollywood be able to do things. And you got Travis Kelce. Yeah.
That would make them pretty nasty. But is anyone taking them to go back for a 4th year in a row? Only the Buffalo Bills, Vikings? Bills and Vikings, right? Only ones to go 4 years in a row, and they both lost all 4. The Vikings didn't go 4 years in a row, no, just the Bills, right?
Just the Bills went. Bengals went to 4 Super Bowls as well and lost all their.
Yeah, they're all 0-4, but no. But the Bills, I think, are the only team. I'll have to double check. Someone
4 in a row.
Marv Levy.
So the Chiefs are trying to tie that.
Yeah, because I think the Bengals, if I'm not mistaken, back in the late '80s, I think there was like 2. Yeah, and then they lost. They didn't go back to. They didn't go back to that kind of one. I thought they went back to back on one of those runs.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I guess I'll give my two. I have 2 flops in mind. The first one was Russell Wilson on the Giants. I think 186. There's talk about the rookie Jackson Dart replacing him. I don't think coach is gonna do that after 1 week, but
quarterback.
It does seem like it's probably going to happen sooner than later. And then the other moment of week 1 that really stood out to me was the Calvin Ridley drop when Cam Ward's dad looks like he had a heart attack.
Oh, man, yeah.
And who knows, maybe they still would have lost that game, but I think the game would have turned out a lot more differently if he caught, I think there was multiple balls that he dropped, and that was against like a elite defense, right? The defense that a lot of people think is one of the best. So hopefully the Rook has some better success in week 2. So, but yeah, Calvin Ridley, you got to catch those balls. You got to help your young quarterback out there. But yeah, let's move on to Super Bowl predictions. Maybe we could do a little quick fire here on our Super Bowl predictions. Quay, you want to go first in terms of Super Bowl predictions, Super Bowl 60 predictions? Who is going to represent the AFC and NFC next February?
So I'm gonna do a quick little run of who I think are clear favorites, just kind of after week 1. Just 3 on each conference. I think looking at the Bills, Ravens, Chargers for week 1, I think people wouldn't be surprised if any of those teams made it as a representative of the AFC. And on NFC, Eagles, Commanders, Packers. Again, I don't think anyone would be surprised if those teams from the NFC made it. Now, what I envision is I actually see a Ravens Super Bowl. I see them kind of coming out as the representatives. And then the surprise, I don't think it's too much of a surprise, but um, it's pretty much the teams that we're seeing play tomorrow. I think either one of those teams, I know the Eagles are who they are. They still pretty much have the exact same offense. I think where they lack, though, is they don't have the exact same defense. Sure, you can argue the front four is really good still. That front seven can get a pass rush, and those linebackers can cover a little bit. But I
Who did they lose?
kind of see them. I kind of see them falling. So I say it's going to be. I actually say it's going to be Ravens and Packers. I think that's going to be the Super Bowl we see. But my dark horse is actually going to be Steelers, because I gotta be a little delusional. You know, if this team really rounds out the way it is, delusional AFC team is going to be the Steelers, and then I can actually see the Commanders also coming out too. Like, I really do think Commanders have a chance this year to go to the Super Bowl. But again, I'm gonna lock it in: Ravens, Packers, Super Bowl.
And who wins and what's the final score? Well, no, we don't need to score. Just who wins. Just who wins.
Yeah,
No,
who
Ravens win.
You're picking a Raven Super Bowl here for the record.
Yes, it.
Victory.
I hate to do it, but I hate to do it. And what my boy Puma would love me talking
We're gonna
about
be
this. But I
flipping
hate
this for
to,
Guru.
yeah, Guru will love it too, and Shaq's cousin Wendell will probably love it as well.
Right.
But yeah, I gotta say it's the Ravens. Even after that week one loss, like we talked about, they looked clearly like the scariest team in the NFL. It's just Josh Allen. It's Josh Allen. He's Superman. He might be the MVP this year, but just as a whole, if that Ravens team is healthy and the defense gets better, I really don't see any team in AFC beating them, and I don't really see a team in NFC beating them.
Cool. All right. Well, shoot, I'll go next.
Who do you think, Shaq?
Yeah.
Super Bowl picks. So I think I would probably go Ravens and maybe probably the Eagles. Honestly,
I like that one too. Almost like I said.
Yeah, and when you were talking about the Packers and the Commanders, like I remember last year, I definitely wanted the Commanders to win the NFC Championship, and then I remember the year before that, the Packers in it, and I also wanted them to actually. I felt like they should have won. I can't remember what happened. Like I think Jordan Love threw like a couple bad passes or something, and they like turned the ball over on downs. But like, yeah, I like them two teams for real. But I think I would go with the Ravens and the the Eagles. Honestly, and who did they lose on their defense? You said they lost some people.
I mean, Slay's no longer there. They don't have. Yeah, it's mainly it's young. Like, I mean, can Cooper and Quignon as second year corners keep up? Like, it's one thing when you have a lot of these like vets in the secondary with you versus now you're the two undisputed.
And Maddox too. I forgot he played for somebody.
Yeah,
my guy from Pitt. Is he still playing? Man, I had class with him at Pitt. Funniest guy ever.
You had a class with Avante? That's hilarious.
Yep. I was cutting up with him in the back of the class all the time.
So
him and like Jet. Yeah. Yeah, I covered the team when James Conner was there. All of them that year they beat Penn State and beat Clemson. It was Avante Maddox, and then like I think Jester Weah was the receiver in the class with us too. But yeah, I'm gonna take over here, and I'm gonna just say real quick, I got Bills over the Eagles. So yeah, I like Packers, like you guys said too. I think Ravens look scary, like you said, the most terrifying offense for sure. Not just now, but probably since like the 07 Patriots or something, or like the Broncos in like 2012 or 13. Terrifying offense. Two living legends in the backfield. Lamar throwing dots to Andrews, Flowers, whoever he wants. It doesn't really matter. He could play with no good receivers and still be amazing. And then you give him Henry too, and a good O-line. Yeah, good luck stopping that. I mean, people are acting like the sky is falling when they just put up 40 points in Buffalo in week one. So they'll be fine. They'll be there in the long run. I'm hoping someone else knocks them off, though, in the AFC. I'm thinking it's the Bills. That week one win could loom large when it comes down to seeding and home field advantage at the end of the year. I think that might prove the difference if they get a home game in Buffalo for the conference championship this time. I'm going to take out the Chiefs. maybe the Ravens take out the Chiefs or something, and then I think the Bills probably take out the Steelers in the divisional round, and then the Bills take out the Ravens to get there, and then the Bills over the Eagles. That's what I'm going with. How about you, Sal?
I'm
Not
gonna
mad at that
go
at
the
all.
same teams, but I think Philadelphia is gonna go back to back. I think this team. I love some of these pieces. I mean, the star power is there. They won week one without getting as much production out of some of their star receivers as they would like. So I
Or
think
Barkley.
whenever you can sneak those type of wins, I think it just shows that they have a lot of grit, and it seems like they're focused. Like they're just laser focused on like just this season and getting there. And it seems like three of us, I think, have the Philadelphia Eagles at least going to a championship for the
Yeah.
NFL championship. So Super Bowl predictions are in. We'll see how right or how wrong we are in a couple of months. So
And
I
Shaq,
think
and Shaq. Oh, but one sec. So, Shaq, I just looked at the game. They missed a field goal. Packers missed a field goal, up 21-17, and then they pretty much went down the field to score. Christian McCaffrey, it goes up 24-21. That's how that game. And then yeah, Love threw a pick with in like triple coverage to try to make something happen.
And Sal also to mention they won that game without getting any production from the receivers, less than 100 yards from Barkley. Oh, and Jalen Carter spit on Dak and didn't play either. So imagine when they get him.
wow.
What a
Yeah, I got
freaking
Jalen Carter. Oh.
maniac, though. He's just the new Albert Hainsworth. Great player, though.
Ainsworth was shot. That dude was shot out of Kansas.
He's still cutting up.
He was
He's
fat
still
too when
Black Belly, we got you.
yeah. Black
up.
Belly waiver wonders. We got our
My favorite
segment is back. The segment where Quay gives all of his opponents the advantage that they need to beat him.
Literally. So yeah, take my free advice.
So yeah, who do you got
so-
this week? I think I know one of the names, but who do you got?
You probably only know one of the names because I picked them up. But so welcome back to Black Belly Waiver Wonders. Just because Belichick is no longer in the NFL, he took his talents to college. I am still Black Belichick, and I will stay in the NFL. Keep my talents in the NFL because I love you guys.
Yeah.
Love you guys. But
Black Andy Reid.
Black Andy.
Black Andy. Name ring. Black Belly. Always.
But we're going with pretty much all receivers here for I have five people that I have here, all receivers. There were other people I thought about, like I was going to add in JCM, as we talked about earlier, Jacory Crossing Merritt. I was going to have him in there as well. That's kind of, yeah. But anyway, who I wrote down here, Hollywood Brown. With injuries to Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice out still for another week due to suspension, that receiving core is completely depleted. And when Xavier Worthy went down, the dude ended up getting 16 targets, ended the game with 10 receptions, 99 yards. Probably should have had a touchdown on that bomb if there was a run under, it kind of stumbled a little bit, but only 26% rostered. He is available in most leagues. If he's available, go find him. He's definitely going to be worth the time at receiver, at least for the next 5 weeks, 6 weeks. So great pick there. Quentin Johnston, receiver for the Chargers. This is a guy who I was also going to talk about in my breakout. This is the receiver, having 5 catches, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns. This is a guy who's always been talked about in camp over the past couple of years of like making strides. Oh, he has all the physical talents and ability. 6'5", I believe 210 pounds. Is speedster. Literally has a nice fluid stride as he's running and just break away. And you see with this second year with this offense, with Justin Herbert, he's just so much more comfortable. Seems like he's kind of gotten over the drops. He had one drop that game in the end zone, but made up for it by getting that touchdown later on. But again, it seems like with Keenan Allen back, Ladd McConkey back, Keenan Allen back with that team, Ladd McConkey in his second year. It just seems like there's enough. There's enough players to have the ball go around to, and a lot of times these guys are going to have one-on-one coverage, which will allow them to, make better plays. And again, Quinn Johnson is that big play guy for them, so he's more than likely always going to get that going. Only rostered on 10% of the fantasy league, so definitely available. And I had to pick one of for the next one. I had to pick one of the homegrown, or at least the home talent, with Calvin Austin. Like I said, pretty much a receiver 3. I like what he had done last year, but with Aaron Rodgers, if he's going to be slinging 4 touchdowns a game, or at least be throwing the ball the way that he did, Calvin Austin is our clear-cut number 2 receiver, or clear-cut big play receiver, even though DK is also a big play guy. Calvin Austin is definitely more of that speedster, burner, shiftier guy. So we're definitely going to be looking for him more in underneath routes, and to make some of these big play routes. Only rostered 3%, 3% of leagues. 6 targets, 4 receptions, 70 yards, and a touchdown last game. I think he's just going to compound upon that. That's probably be somewhere around what he does most weeks, having a few receptions, 4 to 5, 70-ish yards. So really good there. Cedric Tillman, another receiver. He was rostered in 28% of Yahoo leagues. Had 8 targets, 5 receptions, 52 yards, and a touchdown. When it seems like there's someone else I'm going to add in there, and that's Fannin Jr., the tight end, as well with the Browns. It seems as though Njoku, don't know what's going on there, but it seems like Njoku might not be with the Browns. That's also something going on through the grapevine, that he probably will be traded at some point before the trade deadline, which will open up more opportunities for both Tillman and Fannin Jr. So both of those guys, definitely check them out. And then my last one, we're going to the Patriots. We're going up to New England, and we are going to shout out Kayshon Boutte. My boy had Boutte, the boots. Only rostered literally 2% of the Yahoo leagues. Had 8 targets, 6 receptions, 103 yards. Drake May was looking for him early, and often it seems like that's his favorite guy. Stephon Diggs started to get going later on, but it looks as though Kayshon is going to operate more so as the favorite. Maybe that changes, and it'll be more of a 1A, 1B situation. But I think having that year with Drake May already under his belt and going into this season, you see that carryover. He's going to have a good year. Patriots will more than likely have to pass to keep up in games, even though they have a nice 2-headed monster with Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson as the running backs. But like I said, I think they're going to have to pass more, and Kayshon definitely showed that he is capable of putting up some numbers. And that pretty much that covers the Black Belly Waiver Wonder picks for this week. Like I said, all receivers usually don't have anything like that, but the receivers cooked this week, and it is a passing league, as they like to say. So more than likely, we're going to always see some receivers pop up every week. But
I have already picked up 3 of these guys as we speak in my league before we finish this segment.
Damn.
Nice. So see, I'm helping people. This is the benefit. This is the reason why I exist, for Black Belly Waiver Wonders, for you guys to do better, to potentially win your fantasy football seasons. But so you guys know, if you're going against me, I can't have you beat me, but I will be a good sport and always give you the deets.
Yeah.
Give you better chances.
Yeah, make sure you make those waiver claims, which probably just kicked in today.
Save those waivers. Just go grab them as free agents if they're still there. Save that waiver priority.
Yeah.
But no,
save that waiver priority. Grab them now.
The acquisition bidding money, the fake Monopoly money.
The
fab. Yeah. Well, that's our show. I mean, we're about a minute 30 in. we'll end with
I have
our
a spiel.
spiels. And
Yes.
yeah, thanks everyone for listening to our NFL Week 1 overreaction show. We're at season 6, episode 1. Hopefully, we can get you another
Episode
show in the
1.
near future talking about our favorite sports. But yeah, Steve, go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, I know it's an NFL themed show. Week 1 recap, and overreaction, and week 2 preview and forecast. But hey, I mean, you see the Penguins blanket in the background. I showed you the act earlier. You know, we're all about Pittsburgh all around here. And just a quick acknowledgement to the Pittsburgh Pirates and what a shameful ownership and organization they have for just, you know, toying with a great fan base and city that loves their Pirates and has since long before we were born. And we are just absolutely wasting the prime years of the greatest
Despicable.
pitcher that maybe the greatest pitcher that we've seen walk the planet in Paul
Right.
Skeens. He just
Paulie,
tossed five shutout innings, 2 hits, no walks, 8 Ks. Took him out after the 5th inning inexplicably after only like 65 pitches, unless they're just really about to, shut him down for the year. I mean, the Pirates are out of contention. Obviously, there's only a couple weeks left in the season. Nothing left to play for other than the Cy Young that he already has pretty much wrapped up in the bag. Only his second year. He was the rookie of the year last year. Probably could have and should have won the Cy Young, in my opinion, last year. Finished 3rd. Didn't win, I think, because he didn't pitch the first year because we didn't call him up yet. Ever since he's come up, he's been absolutely amazing. ERA under 2 both seasons, 1.92 now for his career. Just an incredible player and pitcher, and we're wasting him, and we are wasting everyone else, wasting our time. Finally called up Bubba Chandler, the number 1 prospect, and he got rocked in his first game. Can't develop hitting talent. Everyone knows it. I mean, so many things. We need to fire the GM. Pirates need to fire the GM, Ben Sherrington. He cannot be back next year. But Joe Kelly, the manager they hired mid-season to replace Derek Shelton, who was terrible, has actually been a good hire. A local guy from Mount Lebo, played in the big leagues. Love everything about Don Kelly, so he'll be back for sure. He's a great guy to have in the dugout as a manager. But we need a new GM, and obviously we need a new owner. But that will never happen unless nothing somehow decides to sell the team. Never gonna happen. So that's my spiel. I think it's a shame, and that'll be the last I say about these Pittsburgh Pirates that have boycotted all year. I love going to PNC Park, but didn't make any trips. Couldn't do it this year. You know, it's just I'm sick of it, and maybe next year, but. We'll see.
I don't blame you, Steve. I don't blame you. I tell people all the time out here, when they ask me, "Oh yeah, you're from Pittsburgh, and so you're a fan of like Pirates, Steelers, Penguins," and I'm like, the last two, not the Pirates, really. I'm like, growing up, I always, we hear about the past. We see, all the statues. We had Agnes Wagner. We had, Roberto Clemente and stuff like this, and it's just like, oh, cool, yeah. But in our time, there was nothing to ever really be excited about for them. And every time there was maybe a little bit
that we've had to celebrate the Cueto game, and that's not okay.
Wildcard.
Yeah,
It's already been like 12 years or something.
I was gonna say 12, 13 years. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's crazy to say that in our 30 to 33 years of like living, that literally we have not got to see any real success from the Pirates except for 2012, that doesn't make any sense. So yeah, it is frustrating, and I do hope at some point we can actually be happy and have some pride being Pirates fans, but I don't know when that day will happen. But I'm gonna give a spiel, and pretty much, sports is about adversity. So we sometimes do spiels based off of sports themes and like sports related stuff, but like life, there's also adversity, and I think this is kind of a personal thing coming from me to maybe help people who might be dealing with some things, might be facing some adversity, and need some words of encouragement. Like the past year and a half, I mean, almost 2 years, like I went through crazy breakup and like a crazy financial shift to where, I mean, even life shifts just in general. Like I really didn't know what was going on. I didn't know like what I had to do. I came up with a lot of different plans and thought about, okay, maybe this will work for me. Maybe I do this. And, it was tough. It was very, very tough. There were mornings, there were days where like I felt like a failure. I felt as though, I just messed up so much that I couldn't recover. And like staying strong, and persevering through all of this to where, I think mindset comes first. Once I kind of shifted the mindset of, life happens. We can't always like prevent things or predict when things will happen to us, but how we respond to those situations is what really makes us. It's the same thing in sports. You may be a receiver, you may be a point guard, you may be a forward in hockey, or a defender in hockey, or whatever, a striker in soccer. It doesn't really matter. And you know that this person from across you might be better, might be stronger, faster, whatever. But what can you control to help yourself be better in that situation, or to not have that fear or that worry in that moment? And same thing in life. When things happen, shift your mindset, no matter how bad they can be, to think more positive and control what you can control. And I say all that to say that, the past month for me has gone much better, having gotten a new job, having as another interview set up to where maybe I get a second job, and now my financial situation is going to change. And, my life is definitely much better than it was a year and a half ago. And again, it takes time, it takes effort to when things change, whether it's a physical thing, a mental thing, an emotional thing. Again, have a positive mindset. It's not the end. It's very much just a test. And I know that sounds very cliche, but everything in life is meant to test us, to make us better individuals and better human beings. And yeah, I think no matter what you're going through, I hope these words like get to you, forever, who watches and tunes in, because yeah, life is just hard, and no matter what, it's going to have its ups and downs, but like how we respond and how we, work through those ups and downs is what matters. And as long as you come out of that better, or learn something out of a bad situation, hey, that's all that matters. And yeah, I hope, if anyone is struggling, that this does get to them, and you have a good rest of the year. We got 3 more months to make the rest of the year really, really what we want it to be, and make some goals for 2026 that, we've been wanting for ourselves. So that's the end of my spiel. I had a great time with you guys tonight, man. I really do. Getting together with the gang is always therapeutic and a good time.
Just to touch on that though, real quick, yeah, and I mean, to put a more personal note on it for me too. I don't know how many people are ever watching or going to see this, but yeah, I mean, just as you know, I mean, Sal and Quay specifically, like this has been probably the roughest year, hardest year of my life. Started on New Year's Day by having my first seizure ever and crashing into the sink as soon as I woke up, getting a horrible concussion and everything, going to the ER. Didn't know what caused it. Had another seizure a few months later that I found out that I had epilepsy, got diagnosed. Tore my Achilles playing flag football a couple months ago, got surgery on that, had another seizure last month, and then today, so I had 4 seizures. Today, this morning, I woke up, and Quay, you don't even know this, Sal does, but I had 2 micro seizures that were really strange. Like Chelsea saw it kind of happen. Well, she noticed after the first one when I went to the bathroom and take my meds, and she saw that I was not myself. Kind of asked me questions. I couldn't remember the dogs' names that we're watching, that I obviously know, Chloe and Ella. And I went to the bathroom again, and this time she came with me just to make sure I didn't fall into the sink again. And she saw me have a literal micro, I just spaced out, and she was talking to me and I wasn't even there. So it was pretty scary for her, and that she like didn't watch Jana today just so she could be with me all day, monitor me as I was work from home and stuff. And yeah, obviously okay here. Didn't have any other major things happen, no major seizure breakthroughs. So it was luckily just these 2 micro ones. So I haven't really had those happen before. But yeah, that was my day today, and luckily it's ending here with you guys by having just such a great time. And just wanted to share that, yeah, I mean, this has been a rough year, and I've been feeling more vulnerable than ever, and needed those words of encouragement from you, Quay. You're always really, a guy with a great perspective on life and a lot of insight and things to learn from, and I really loved hearing that. And I'll just say, my kind of saying that I've been leaning on this year is that it's always okay to not feel okay. And
It is.
never feel afraid to share if you're not doing well or need a little
Especially
help.
as men.
Need
Yeah,
someone to talk
especially
to.
especially as men, I feel like we're told a lot of the time, like, yeah, you're not really supposed to show any emotion or reveal like your feelings to like anyone. But I feel like we need to be able to do that a little bit more with like really close guy friends. Like it's one thing, yeah, we can do that with our girl wives and fiancés and stuff like that, but it's another like we truly like understands like each other because we're men. So I feel like there has to be that time and space for us to be like, yo, yeah, I'm not okay. Like I'm not really doing the best. So yeah, I'm glad that, I know it's been a hard year for you and everything. So I'm glad those words like really meant something to you because yeah, I get it. Like mine, like I said, was more outer versus like inner and outer for you. Cause yeah, the Achilles and then other personal stuff that's happened as well. But so yeah, definitely here for you, bro. Anytime.
Yeah. Well, first, I want to say get well soon, Steve.
My boy.
And everything. I want to thank y'all for the invite. This is my first time on.
Yeah. When we
Of
saw
course,
you
of
don't
course.
know how happy we were because we were supposed to have either Guru or Randy, and then somehow as we're waiting to go live, Sal's setting it up, trying to figure everything out. We haven't done this in years, and then he sees Shaq just commented in the chat like he's about to join. I'm like, what? No way! And I'm like, get him in here, and we're just like, Sal sent you the topics, and somehow, some way, you came prepared, man. Great job.
Right.
Great
Thank you.
having you.
And next time, I'll be more prepared.
No, this was perfect. We're so glad you joined.
Yeah. Thanks,
Yeah, bro.
Chuck, for blessing us with
Sal
your
got to
presence
curate
tonight.
some clips for the gram and stuff for us.
Right.
Got a lot to come through.
One time before we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bud Crawford or Canelo?
Oh,
We should have talked about it, but yeah, we didn't have the time. We're going on 2 hours. I'm rooting for Bud.
I'm rooting for Bud too, but I think it's
and he has the iron chin. I think Canelo edges it out. He also always has those judges on his side, them crooked judges. Triple G beat him twice, and everybody knows it. He won the third one when Triple G was like 40-something, washed up. Triple G beat him twice. They robbed him twice. Floyd clearly beat him, and one of the judges scored as a draw. Unbelievable, and that's just boxing for you. So I think Canelo will win fair and square, but even if he doesn't do it fair and square, the judges will have his back. So I think Canelo by decision is my call, but I can't wait. It'll be a great fight, and I'm rooting for Bud. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Bud too, but like you said, unless it happens, I think it'll be Canelo. But I'm rooting for Bud. Like in terms of boxing, I don't get too excited about it anymore because outside of actual competitive boxing, I think we've gotten so much into the celebrity boxing that's so like annoying. To the point where, in professional boxing, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of great fighters anymore. I feel like there's guys that pop up, will be good, and then they kind of, they retire on top of the mountain. But yeah, I'm rooting for Bud. But again, Canelo's Canelo, and like you said, judges will tend to have his back, so we'll see. But going.
Spin off question. I know we gotta go. You said something about celebrity.
No, you're good.
About Floyd and Tyson next year.
saying that.
They said it's
Hey, I'm
official.
happy for my boy Tony Ferguson though. Got himself a celebrity boxing wins. So shout out Tony Ferguson, 1-0 with a knockout, undefeated pro boxer. T. Ferg El Kakui,
Darren
my
Till
boy,
too, I think.
knocked out Luke Rockhold bad. But yeah, Tony's gonna be looking for some big fights now. So we'll see.
Yeah, I got
Great
Canelo
show.
too. I saw this.
Yeah,
It was a clip of him strengthening his neck. He like, I think he's
dude,
on like a
his skin
medicine
is
ball with like the top of his head.
indestructible. Indestructible. Triple G hit him. Dude, Triple G hit him with every shot in the book, and he barely flinched, man. It's unbelievable. He'll never be knocked out. I don't think we'll ever see it. So the only way to beat him, because of these judges, you got to knock him out, because the judges ain't going to give it to you, and then you can't knock him out. So good luck. Should be a great
Yeah.
fight.
That's first loss.
All right, yeah. Well, I think that's it for our show. I want to thank all of my guests here tonight. Shaq, special guest, special challenger tonight. Hope to see you back here.
Special
Quay and
challenge.
Steve, as always a pleasure having you on the debate panel. And I guess we'll just end with my spiel. And again, thanks everyone for sharing those personal stories. Obviously, this year has gone a different direction, I think, for myself, but definitely here to support all of my brothers and sisters out there who need help. And I just want to take a moment and reflect as we are approaching the anniversary of September 11th. Want to give my personal thanks to all the first responders, all Americans who gave a helping hand on that day. You know,
Steve Buscemi.
in our country, tragedies like that, despite being a negative moment, have always been a time that has united Americans, and you saw that a lot through the different sporting events that happened on that particular year. And we here on the Spiel, sports is that unifying factor that brings all of us together from different communities, no matter where we are. So just keep that in mind with all the bad that's out there in the world and all the stress and all the hardships that we face, that we can do this all together with the proper support system from our family and our friends, and on a macro level from our community, our country, and our global community as well. So special, just reflect on that. Hold your loved ones close, and really appreciate all these things that we have here. Life is too short to get caught up in petty turmoil, and I think we just got to see life for what it is. So from myself, Sal, Spiel Sports Talk Show, thanks everyone. We will see everyone next time, and hopefully we can get you a couple more episodes this season. So hopefully talk some NFL, NBA, UFC. We'll have it all upcoming. So till next time, thanks again to my crew, and everyone have a
Till
good
next
night.
time, guys. Good night, everybody.
They can't measure. Cold press got you crying in the press. Time to put the pressure. Hold what they can't measure. Full court press got you crying in the press. Time to put the pressure. Hold what they can't measure. Full court press got you crying in the press.